Joyful, responsible abundance. That's a pretty powerful idea, right? But what if it wasn't just some nice philosophy? What if it was actually an engineering challenge? Well, today we're going to look at a project that's trying to do exactly that, to build a whole new blueprint for how we live. And believe it or not, it all starts with the tech right inside our own homes. Okay, so what we're diving into is called the Strati Everything ecosystem. And yeah, it is a huge vision. We're talking about something that scales from a simple app on your phone all the way up to, well, a planetary system designed for our collective future. It is incredibly ambitious, super complex, and like I said, it all kicks off in a place you might find pretty surprising. So, where do you even start with a plan to build a new civilization? The answer? Your kitchen. Seriously, the entire foundation of this whole thing is an application that basically turns regenerative living into a game. It makes your home, your pantry, your garden, level one of this incredibly real and incredibly important new game.
At the heart of this home game is a concept they call full spectrum consumption. Think of it like an AI brain for your house. It's designed to integrate everything from what's growing in your garden to what's in your kitchen, even connecting it to your personal health. The whole point is to make sustainable living not just something that's efficient, but something that is completely 100% personalized, just for you.
And this is how you actually play it. The whole experience is built around this really simple four-step loop. First, you scan your space, map it out, create a digital twin of your home. Then you get to design your perfect setup, everything from garden beds to cool hydroponic towers. Then, and this is cool, you can run simulations, like, hey, what would happen if there's a big heat wave? And finally, you just do it. The app gives you these little missions and tasks to actually bring your design to life. It's this constant, satisfying cycle of action and feedback. Okay, now this is what I find really fascinating. It's this deep, deep commitment to human-centric design. This system isn't just built for the super tech-savvy among us. Just look at this comparison. For a standard user, yeah, you've got your typical menus, lots of information. But look over here. For a user who might be experiencing cognitive decline, the whole interface just transforms. The navigation becomes totally linear, it's always visible. The cognitive load is slashed down to just one task at a time. And all those complex swipey gestures? Nope, they're replaced with big, clear buttons. It's a brilliant example of how this thing is designed to adapt and serve everyone. All right, so the system works great for one person in one home. But how do you scale that up? How do you create a whole connected community? I mean, an app is just software, right? To build real stuff in the real world, you're going to need people, you're going to need skills, and you need a structure that can actually function within our current reality. You need a human and legal engine. And that engine has a name, Setco. Now, this isn't just some boring HR department. Think of it as the entity that's designed to go out and find, train, and deploy all the people needed to build this entire ecosystem. We're talking everyone from AI developers to, get this, subterranean construction experts. And all along the way, it's embedding these core regenerative principles right into the DNA of the workforce. You see, Setco basically exists to solve this fundamental conflict, which you can see right here. On one side, you've got this wild, radical vision, things like DAO governance, where the whole community makes decisions, or total data sovereignty. And on the other side, well, you have the cold, hard reality of Australian law, the Fair Work Act, the Privacy Act, all that stuff. Setco is designed to be the bridge, the translator, to make these two completely different worlds actually work together. Okay, so we've gone from the individual home, we've scaled up to the local community, so now let's zoom out even further. Let's go global. The big question is, how does the knowledge that one person generates in their little backyard garden get shared with the entire planet so that everyone can benefit? The answer they propose is the fractal arc. And listen, this is not some centralized database owned by a giant corporation. No way. It's a decentralized peer-to-peer library of all of Earth's biological and regenerative wisdom. It's built by the users for the users. It's basically a living, breathing library of what actually works, shared from the ground up. And this is the really clever part, how it manages to share all that knowledge while still protecting your privacy. The arc is built in 4 distinct layers. So, Layer 0, that's your home. Your data is 100% private, end of story. Layer 1 is your local mesh. You're only sharing with trusted neighbors you actually know. Then, at Layer 2, Your anonymized data gets shared with your local buyer region, your guild. And only at the very top, at layer 3, after it's been tried, tested, and verified, only then do those proven patterns get shared with the whole planetary commons. It's just a really elegant way to scale wisdom without giving up control. Yeah, this quote just nails it, doesn't it? Sharing wisdom without sacrificing sovereignty. It really gets to the core of what the fractal arc is all about. It's a system that's trying to do something that has felt pretty much impossible in our digital world, to build a global brain of shared knowledge without forcing anyone to hand over the keys to their own personal data. So we've seen the what, the app, the company, the arc, and we've seen the how, the phased rollout, the layers of data. But now we get to the deepest and honestly the most profound part of this entire thing, the why. What is the ultimate motivation that is driving this massive, complex, and, let's be honest, audacious undertaking? So, why? I mean, really, why build all of this? Why build this crazy adaptive AI for your home and a whole new corporate structure and a planetary library of knowledge? Why go to all that trouble? Because you have to assume the scale of the solution tells you something about the scale of the problem they think they're solving. And this is where we get to the core driver. According to the source material, the entire vision is built on a foundational belief. It's a theory about a long recurring catastrophe cycle. And this isn't a man-made problem. It's a cycle that they believe is caused by massive galactic scale events that periodically hit our entire solar system. To be specific, this theorized cycle is believed to culminate in something called a solar micronova. Think of it as a powerful, explosive burp from our sun that would essentially hit the reset button on the surface of our planet, making it, well, temporarily uninhabitable for us. That is the existential threat this entire project is being engineered to face. And with that in mind, the ultimate goal suddenly snaps into focus. It's all about engineering a safe haven. The grand ultimate vision is to build what they call a civilization of sand, a massive network of self-sustaining subterranean eco-cities, designed not just for us to survive, but to actually flourish and thrive deep underground. This quote, it just perfectly captures the kind of mindset you'd have to even think about a project like this, right? You're faced with a potential catastrophe of cosmic proportions, and the response isn't fear, it isn't despair, it's this defiant, pragmatic belief in our own ingenuity. It's a statement that says, look, any problem, no matter how ridiculously huge, can be broken down and engineered into a solution. So you know that old question, how do you eat an elephant? The answer is one bite at a time. And that's exactly what they're doing here. This grand, almost cosmic vision gets brought right back down to Earth with a very concrete, very practical, multi-year plan. This is how you actually start engineering a new civilization. And here's that roadmap. And what you'll notice is it doesn't start with digging giant tunnels. Not at all. It starts small. Phase 1 is just the user experience design for the app. Then they move on to actually building it, beta testing it, and then, in Phase 4, they build out that peer-to-peer fractal arc we talked about. It's only after all that groundwork is laid that they get into robotics, and eventually even partnerships with space agencies. It's just a really clear, logical, step-by-step progression from a simple little app to a system that could potentially operate off-world. So, at the end of all this, we're left with a pretty big question, aren't we? Is this an audacious, maybe even a necessary blueprint for the future of humanity? Or is it just a fantastically complex, incredibly expensive, high-tech fantasy? The source material lays out the entire plan, but I suppose the final judgment on that is up to us.